For someone who's seen this space evolve for the last 15 years, what are those things that you like or not like about the current state of online marketing?
Well, what I like is that transparency is becoming more and more prevalent. I think people online are more open with how they feel when certain brands behave or act a certain way, and I think that's important. There's more accountability for brands, I think, now more than ever. And I'm glad to have led the charge there. I definitely was not the first one to share numbers. The other people have as well. And in fact, I need to give credit to a personal finance blog in 2007 that I used to read. This was before I was let go. I was really into personal finance and retirement account, that kind of stuff. And there was a blog at mymoneyblog.com. And what I found fascinating about them was they were one of the only ones to, when they were talking about investing into the stock market and portfolios, to literally share which stocks and in portfolios they were, investing into and what mutual funds, like the ticker exactly. And that was like, I was just like, oh, thank you. Like, now I can make a decision if that ticker makes sense for me, but I now know that what you're saying is true because it can be tracked and I can see it. And that was so key for me, and that helped me to trust them more. And this is why I started out with that. And again, I want people to know what's going on so they can make the best and most informed decision. And then thankfully, a lot of other entrepreneurs have done the same thing. But at the same time, I've also realized that I, being a part of this space, have a duty to, in fact, share that you don't have to just talk about making money online in order to make money online, which is why you often see, especially in my podcast, I invite a lot of other success stories onto the show. Yes, we bring people like Gary Vaynerchuk and Tim Ferriss and all these big names on, but honestly, the more downloaded podcast episodes are from people like Shane and Jocelyn Sams, episode 121. These are two teachers from Kentucky who heard my podcast one day, literally mid-mowing their lawn, stopped because they heard a podcast and decided right then that they were going to start an online business to help teachers and help football coaches, which is what they knew. And their lives changed forever. They're now millionaires as a result of going down that path. And so when I can enable the listeners to see there are people just like them succeeding, who have taken that first step, who have gone through a lot of the obstacles, the same obstacles that people who are listeners are going through too, they have more of a belief that they can do it too because somebody else has already done it before them and has paved the way and has proved that the things that I'm talking about are in fact real. And then bringing new niches into the space. Maria, one of our SPI Pro sort of members, she has a podcast called Bloom and Grow Radio. She helps people choose the right house plants to have a better mindset in their workspace. It's such like an intriguing niche, and she's got hundreds of thousands of downloads now that she started her podcast thanks to our work. And she now has a traditional book deal that just got into place because of her work. And it's when I share stories like that people go, yeah, the truth is these stories exist probably more than the money to money, make money online stuff. There's no reason for people to share like the money to money people because, they're doing their work. And I'm just grateful that I have a platform to be able to, share these stories in a community where these people exist who have taken our work and have actually implemented it, which is fantastic. So the hard thing is there's always going to be those kinds of people out there who do, sit in their garages and talk about their Ferraris and Lamborghinis and whatever. But I think it's great that people are now more openly sharing that those things are not necessarily real. And I think it's important for any creator to realize that as well, that when you pretend to be somebody you're not, or you rent certain things to look flashy on video, for example, sure, you might attract a large crowd, but is that the right crowd for you? Are you happy attracting people based on a lie or something that's fake? Or might you instead realize that your vibe attracts your tribe? When you are yourself out there, you are immediately standing out from the crowd because you're you and nobody's like you. And that took me a while to understand as well. It took me a couple of years to realize that, because I always had this imposter syndrome, like, wow, there's all these other marketers, they're much better, they're making a lot more money than me, and their income reports are much bigger. But the truth is, I realized that people gravitate toward me because I am me and I have a certain way to go about things. I'm not about the mansions and Lamborghinis. I'm about the minivan and bringing the kids to school every day. And that's what makes this life rich, is I get to spend more time with my kids. And I think that's what people gravitate toward with me, as well as just the transparent nature of what I do. So you got to be careful out there. But this is why communicating and talking with other people is great because you can share ideas and kind of weed through the and filter through the nasty out there to find the good ones.
Brilliant. Well, for someone who's been close in the space of online marketing for, like I said, last 10 to 15 years and always seen you as one of these beacon of shining light, embodying a lot of the things that I speak about in Selling with Love as well. I'm just so honored that you were able to be this beacon of light to show others a way that can be done that comes with integrity, that makes an impact, has empathy for who you serve. So I just want to tip my hat to you.